AFT delegates, friends, and guests, ever since our founders 100 years ago, AFTers have a proud history of activists in the great debates that has shaped our nation. From fighting for women's rights to vote in the 1920s, to fight for the rights of all Americans to vote in the 1960s, the AFT has been there. We were on the forefront of civil rights movements, following an amicus curiae brief in the historic 1954 Supreme Court desegregation case, Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, and expelling locals that have not followed an early mandate to desegregate. From our support for FDR's creation of the safety net during the Great Depression, to ending segregation and discrimination in the Jim Crow South, to fighting to ensure that Black lives and LGBTQ lives and Muslim lives matter. We are, the AFT, are committed to reclaiming the promise of America. Yet still, we all have done, our nation still remains at a tipping point. Following the murder of 2 young Black men at the hands of the police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Falcon House, Minnesota, and after the heartless massacre that took place at the LGBTQ nightclub in Orlando, Florida, it is clear that there is too far much hatred, racism, and discrimination in our country. And it's clear that hatred drove the killing of the 5 Dallas police officers who were murdered while protecting peaceful protesters. Sadly, racism and bigotry are the thorns of an imperfect flower that we call the United States of America. As we sit in this hall, we must acknowledge all of those educators, healthcare, public employees, higher education, faculty, staff, and all those civil and human rights activists that work tireless to remove some of those thorns of racism, hatred, and bigotry. We must think about all those brave souls who made the choice to walk across Edmund Pettus Bridge and was beaten at the hands of the police while fighting for our rights to vote. And most importantly, we must join hands with those that are still fighting, those who have been on the forefront, ensuring that love truly trumps hate. I don't like that word, Trump. One such group is Color of Change. Color of Change have been at the forefront of efforts to counter attempt to suppress the vote, to protect a free and open internet, and call for justice in the death of Eric Gardner, Rasheed McBride, Trayvon Martin, and Sandra Bland. Leading this powerful organization is Rashard Robinson. This brother is definitely a warrior. Some have called him a thorough leader in civil rights, social change, and technology-driven activist. But we at the AFT claim him friend, and please join me in welcoming Rashard Robinson.